I've been to a slice of vinyl again. Ahoy everybody, I'm back to another haul video, and yes, it's payday, 17th of September. I had to go and pick up some records from a slice of vinyl, and I had a browse whilst I was there. I also hit the charity shops and Poundland beforehand, and a couple of days ago I posted a video showing what I bought there. But yeah, this is what I bought in a slice of vinyl. So what I had to pick up was Metallica's The Black Album, the reissue that came out last week. It's an album that I only ever owned on a cassette that somebody had recorded for me. I've never actually owned a proper legal copy of it, but it's an album that I really liked, but I haven't listened to it in many years. And I kept thinking to myself, well, I really must get that. Then they announced the anniversary reissue, and so I said, when Kieran he was taking pre-orders, I said, yeah, I'll have one. So Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, Sad But True were the really big songs from this. What we got inside? Lyric sheets. Download card. So I'll show you the other side. That's good. And then it's on black vinyl, but with this I wouldn't want it on coloured vinyl. And it's split over 2 discs. Polyline sleeves as well. So yeah, really happy to have that in the collection. You know, I'm not a huge metal head. I like metal music, but they're not a main focus of my collection. But this album is just fantastic. And that was $34.99. He messaged me a couple of weeks ago. He'd taken in a collection, and in it was some Prince bootleg singles, and was I interested? And I was, basically. So these were priced at £10 each, so he gave me my 10% discount on that, so I paid £9 each for these. Which is a lot for a single, but when I checked them out on Discogs, that's about right. So 3 of these are Black Album singles, so they're tracks taken from... not that Black Album that I've just shown, but Prince's Black Album. 1987, follow-up to Sign of the Times, Prince recorded an album that became known as the Black Album. It was songs largely that he'd recorded just to play at Sheila E's birthday party, and they were all very dirty, funky music. And then he decided he wanted to release them, but he didn't want them to release them as a Prince album. They were just going to go out with no name on it, just plain black wrapping, peach catalogue number on the spine, and that would be it. And then just the tracks listed on the label. It was all pressed. Then at the last minute, controversy over why, but Prince decided he didn't want that music out. Cancelled it. A few escaped. As I say, they'd been pressed, so a few did escape. They go for a lot of money, and they led to bootlegs. It was one of the most heavily bootlegged albums of all time. I have a bootleg copy of it, but it was one of the first Prince albums I owned. And as part of his negotiations to leave his contract in the mid-90s, it did get a limited release in 1994, but it was released partway through the year, and it was only for sale in that year. It was, so it's still a fairly rare album. But yeah, so the first 3 of these are tracks taken from a Black Album, put out as singles. So we have Cindy C, and I've got to be careful here because there's boobs on the B-side. There you go. Backed with Funky Sex, which I'm presuming is Rock Hard in a Funky Place. Because they were bootlegs, it's often, they don't really know what the titles are. But it's a wraparound rather than a proper sleeve, but then in there, nothing written on the actual disc, but they look fine. A bit dusty, need a bit of a clean, but that looks fine. So I don't know what sound quality is going to be like. They're not tracks I don't have, but apologies if there was a flash there. I'm not sure if there was, but for the collection, they're well worth having. This is Two Nigs United for West Compton, which is an instrumental track, apart from the title being shouted, backed with Dead on it. So that's a Parade era shot. That's from the Girls and Boys cover. Fairly contemporary. We've got Dirty Mind era, probably 1980, and then Purple Rain era on the back. Again, the wrap around and a plain inners. I mean, these don't really look like they've been played. Probably only have been played once or twice. Then we have, and again, it's a bit of a rude image, so I'll be careful. Le Grind, backed with Bob George. So the Le Grind image, I should describe, is a cartoon of two voluptuous black women straddling a white guy, one at either end, let's put it that way. And he's clearly enjoying himself. And then that's Brit Awards, I think. And again, same format. And then this last one is called the Salvador Dali EP. And these are tracks from the Parade tour at Wembley, 14th of August 1986. And a proper, again, it's, oh, I see. It's a four-sided fold out, this one. And it's got a cut out middle, jukebox middle with it's already got one of those things in it. It's on Xenos. It's credited to Highlighters for some reason. But track A is Kiss, or as they've called it, Kiss Kiss. And then side B has got Miss You and The Roof on Fire. Oh, it's The Roof is on Fire. We don't need no water lever, etc, etc. And those tracks, certainly Miss You anyway, it's just Miss You, I think, but it has Ron Wood on guitar and Sting on bass. So again, I have those on, certainly on cassette and I think on CD. But nice to have this. Anyway, okay. Back to the legitimate releases. This came out a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't going to get it, and then I found out I had an exclusive PJ Harvey track on, so I had to bite my bullet. So this is a new vinyl, $35.99. This is a Batman Forever soundtrack. Warner's have released over the last few weeks a number of soundtrack albums, all on coloured vinyl, and this was one from that release. So it's got Hold Me, Feel Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, which is my favourite U2 track, One Time Too Many by PJ Harvey, Brandy with Where Are You Now, Seal's Kiss from a Rose was a big hit from this, Massive Attack with Tracy Thorn, The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game, Eddie Reader from Fairground Attraction, Nobody Lives Without Love, Mazzy Star, Tell Me Now, The Offspring, Smash It Up, good track. I know it's a cover, but yeah, their version is good. Nick Cave, There Is a Light, I'm not sure if that's an exclusive track or not. Method Man, The Riddler. Michael Hutchence covering The Passenger, the old Iggy Pop song. The Devlins, Crossing the River, and Sunny Day Real Estate 8, and The Flaming Lips with Bad Days, which is another great track. So it's Gatefold. And what we got? We got a credit sheet. And then they are polylined black sleeves. That one is on blue. And then the second disc is silver. So my soundtrack video of last week is already out of date. Okay, remember the rest was all pre-loved stuff. Some I remembered he'd had, some he only showed yesterday. Some I wasn't aware or hadn't remembered. So first up, and again, another soundtrack. We have the Tommy soundtrack, so this is the soundtrack to the film. I have the Who album and also the orchestral album. So I thought I'd pick up the movie soundtrack for £10. Yeah, so it's got Clapton and Entwistle. Well, of course it's got Entwistle. It's got Clapton and Elton John, Tina Turner, etc. on it. Gatefold. It's got it's come from a record and tape exchange in Notting Hill at some point. Nice lyrics on the inner, on Polydor. All these pre-loved prices. So as I say, this was £10, so it actually cost me £9 because I get 10% discount on everything. Don't get discount on new, only on pre-loved. So a few months back I picked up Bow Wow Wow's debut album with a big long title that Richard McCook can reel off, but I can't. Go ape crazy, that one. I enjoyed it a fair bit. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it a fair bit. So when I saw he got this one in, I thought, oh, if he's still got it, I'll pick it up. And he did, so I have. For £8, less my discount. I Want Candy. Yeah, it is actually called I Want Candy. The original recording, 16 tracks including Mile High Club, Work and Cowboy. Oh, he did go into the history of this. I think this is a compilation of the early EP type releases rather than a proper follow-up album. I think Richard will no doubt comment below and correct me if I need correcting. But it's got the C30, C60, C60, C90 Spanish version on here. And the original. Some rather dubious images on the back, which I will just quickly flash up. There you go. If you really want to see them, pause it. But yeah, nice to have that. Another from my Elvis Costello collection. Blood and Chocolate. Don't recognise any of the titles, but that doesn't mean anything with Elvis. Sometimes I know the songs and don't realise I know them, but even if I don't, I usually enjoy them. I've got pretty much got everything. Yeah, I have everything that's on this flyer apart from the greatest hits. Really good condition. That was 10. The sleeves falling apart a bit, but They're in an outer sleeve rather, so that makes no difference really. Other than that, sleeve is in excellent condition. It's really clean. This was 20. This is for George Martin Orchestra Help. So this is George Martin and his orchestra, largely bar one track, I think. Yeah, doing Beatles songs. There's one George Martin original which is probably on there to make some money. It's clearly an original. Fold back, mono copy. On Columbia. Yeah, a few playing marks, but nothing major. Polylined inner, plain. But yeah, it's definitely fits my Beatles covers collection, but will just be interesting in its own right anyway. So probably a couple of years ago now, coming up for it probably, I picked up Maze featuring Frankie Beverly live. Enjoyed that. Last time I did a little haul, slice of vinyl, I picked up another Maze, I think it was a self-titled album, which I haven't listened to yet. That's in my to listen pile. For £8 less discount, I picked up Can't Stop the Love. Kevin said he listened to this one and it was quite a good album. I think was his words. Yeah, quite well marked. One pretty major scratch on it, but if he's played it, it must be fine. So you can see the scratch there at the top. But it's remarkable how resilient vinyl can be sometimes. These are good clean as well. I think that inner is quite dirty inside. This was one that I'd seen he'd had and I thought, oh yeah, I might get that. So this was 15 less discount, and this is Once Upon a Time, Susie and the Banshees singles collection. Hong Kong Garden, Happy House, and probably Spellbound. I think of the only tracks that I probably definitely know. I might recognise some of the others, but they're a band that I have an interest in, and it might prompt me to get more of their stuff. Yeah, very flimsy but clean as a whistle. This next one is one he showed yesterday, and I guessed he wouldn't have sold, and I was right. For my Chas and Dave collection, Rockney, one of their earliest albums, if not, might even be their first solo album. Yeah, Sling Your Hook, possibly, but this sort of predates the hits. I think the next album had Rabbit on it. Or Sideboard Song. No, I think the next album had Sideboard Song on it. I knew there was one of them was on an early one, but this was when they were on EMI, before they set up their own Rockney label. And another one that only came in, or he only showed yesterday, put out for sale this morning. And it's the second House Martins album, People Who Grind Themselves to Death. So I've got London Nil Hell 4, which I really like. And I have their greatest hits CD. It's got full of B-sides and everything on there as well. And EP tracks and things. In the original shrink, I think it's a case of don't try and remove the original shrink, because it's going to take half a cover off with it. But this has got People Who Grin from the title track. Ian the Farmer, If I Got Overexcited, Build. So yeah, obviously House Martins were the first band of Paul Heaton, and also featured Norman Cook, aka Fatboy Slim. There, London Nail Hole 4. Since I bought it, I've seen a few times, and indeed it was in with this little lot. But this is the first time I'd seen this, so yeah, glad it was still there. And that was £10 less my discount. Yes. Okay, and that was it. That's what I picked up from a slice of vinyl today. Probably, almost certainly, be my only vinyl shop this month. And by this month I mean between payday today and payday next month. Probably. But I know I've got quite a few pre-orders coming, so I need to save the pennies for them. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks.